Welcome back, y'all. I'm Camille.
And I'm Gretchen, and you are listening to Starting Over Podcast. We're so happy that y'all are here. In case you're new to our channel, we love to talk about things that can help you start over. Not wait, until you have to have some monumental thing to start over, but maybe just right now. Maybe just something in a little nugget that we can send to you that will help you reframe your mindset and help you feel better.
Well, and as we were talking about things today to talk about here, I do feel like love, like what is love? And love to me is in everything. It's everything points up to the sky, it's the sun. It's like all of this is kind of designed in our favor,
Definitely. I actually was, you and I were talking about this last week. Camille and I grew up. We know Jesus, y'all. Trust us. We know Jesus.
She's got 7 denominations.
But, and I think love is kind of thrown around a lot. But, when we did the analogy of God is in everything.
Yes.
Okay. So that means God is in us, which is why we have love.
Yeah.
Which is why we are love, because he is in us, right? And so I think when we define what is love, we just need to think it back to what is God.
Yeah. That's exactly what we talked about, is if you are loved by God, if we are all loved, then we are safe here, and everything's done for us, not to us. And when you just surrender in that you are loved and you can receive that love, it's such, when we just pause and just embrace that moment, it was really profound, because when I do meditate and I'm just in the moment and we are just in one space of being present, everything comes to us. Well, for me, it's like when I'm just in that space of love and I feel accepted and I'm grateful, it's the gratitude for me that I know I'm loved. Something just shows up for me that I've been looking for, or an answer comes to me, an aha moment. Does that happen to you?
Yeah, I think it's the more you're in tune with your feelings, okay? So the reason why being in tune with your feelings is so important is so you know to gauge, where is God in my life? Where is my magnetism to good? Where is it? Because again, I know we talked about this, y'all, that emoji hand of the praying hands, God's never leaving. And by the way, if you don't like the word God, put whatever you believe in there. I don't care.
I put love, yeah.
Yeah, but when we feel negative emotion, when we feel upset, we're the ones that are pulling away. And so when you do have those moments of meditation, I know I like to really get into the bed at night and it really just start in my head like, oh my gosh, let's just talk about all the amazing things that happened today. And they may have nothing to do with business transactions. They may have nothing to do with like I won the lottery. It could be, something so tiny, but it was profound to me.
Yeah.
And I think when you spend, like you're saying, time in gratitude is an instant magnifier, a magnet to God.
Yeah.
And so you can never go wrong because you can't be upset and be grateful at the same time.
So true. So true.
It's like a stick with two ends. Which one are you focused on, And so you want to feel love, even you want to feel love for yourself, start with gratitude.
Yeah.
I tell my clients all the time, find time in the morning to look in the mirror. I mean, really look in the mirror. Don't look in the mirror to see like, oh God, I got to get my hair cut, or I wish I didn't have this, or I need to change that. You're looking in your eyes, and you are talking to you, and you're speaking kindness. You're speaking how important you are and how much you're loved, and you speak to yourself like you would another person or a child. That is absorbing love.
Yes. Well, and I think what we work with the clients is what is your perception of yourself? Because how you view you is that shows in what you're attracted to, what you're letting in your space. So if you view yourself as precious, as powerful, as beautiful, however you perceive yourself, that's going to source results in your life.
Absolutely.
Right?
And when you think bad of yourself or you think bad of others, you've left. God is still in you, and again, whatever y'all want to call it, that's still in you. But when we find ourselves in negativity or complaining or things that just aren't good for our soul, we've left that feeling. It doesn't leave us. We've left it.
Yes.
And so when you feel guilt, when you feel remorse, when you feel all those things, that's not God. And I think a lot of times religion teaches you need to feel those things so you can learn to never do them again.
Right. The shame, blame.
Right, the shame. And I think, oh my gosh, I wouldn't say to one of my kids, like, you know what? I need you to get homeless so you can learn.
Yeah, right.
You wouldn't do that.
No. But I think what you're really talking about is this is alignment. Like you're literally aligning yourself back up to your calling and your connection. And that is what we mean when we say, okay, time to start over. Let's reconnect. Let's realign ourselves with our higher calling, with whatever higher anything you are aligned with.
Right.
I think the philosophers that I will research and study, and just people that my mentors, I really think it's a profound reality when people that are smart, they have done a lot of studies and research, and they do find a connection to a higher power, whatever that is for them.
Right.
If it is Jesus, if it is a religion, it's a practice. The Stoics, there's some truth there. But that, I think if you can align yourself to some sort of truth that never fails you, it never leaves you. And then if you know that you're loved, if you know that you really are created out of love and that you are a creator, you're powerful yourself, you can step into a whole new way of being, right?
Yeah, and I think it's a whole new way of actually creating. So if you think about it, if God is love and God is in us and God created us, then you are all those things. You are love. You are accepted. You are worthy because He is.
Yes.
So you're not this person here and God is floating around up here and you're hoping that something rains down on you and, oh my gosh, you sinned. Now you're going farther away from Him. To me, it doesn't make sense to think that way.
Yeah.
If God is in us and God promises He'll never leave, then we're good.
Yeah.
And we have that direction and we're never alone. And of course we are loved because we are loved by Him.
Yeah.
So we physically and spiritually, we are loved. So when we give back and we feel that feeling of love, we're giving of God.
Yes. Well, and there really cannot be a division. It's only fear. It's either love or fear. That's either motivating us. And if we're fearful, then we don't sense or feel God. But when we remember who we really are, we move away. We can't not be who we really are created to be.
Right.
And I think when you let yourself know that you are created from light, from love, then what's my purpose? That's where people start aligning to who they really are. That's their calling, and something will show itself. How many times have you experienced where the universe just starts talking to you? Whether a song comes on the radio or a text message comes in, or I'll have a video pop up. There's something that's matching something I'm seeking.
Yeah.
It's like the earth rises to meet my feet when I'm in alignment. And there isn't nothing's wrong here. It just feels peaceful and I feel connected. And then something's pulling on me to a whole new future. Or just the future I'm meant to be in that moment.
Right.
Right.
And I think sometimes what happens is it's easy to think that we've got to figure it all out.
No.
It's our test.
Yeah.
It's our lesson. We have to figure it all out. And then once we do, then we're going to feel God. Again, I take that back to if you're a parent, and you have your child or, just anybody, but you wouldn't say to your kid who's learning to walk, get up, you little dummy.
Right.
You just know that with, nurturing and encouragement, that child's going to learn to walk. And then the world is theirs, right?
Yeah.
And I think sometimes when we think that God wants us to figure it all out. Figure out what you're going to do.
You're on your own.
There's a big white grease board in heaven. I hope you find it because it's got what you're supposed to be doing on it,
Yeah, you're alone.
That we can give up. We can feel like, oh, this is too hard. I don't know. Or I'm just on that hamster wheel.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know where God is, but I'm just doing the same thing. God's always there. We've left.
Yes.
We're in habits of thought, habits
Yes.
of actions that have kept us from feeling good.
Yeah.
Because there isn't a circumstance that's keeping us from God. It isn't a matter of, I don't have enough money or I don't have the right. No, none of that matters. What matters is how you feel. And what do you believe? Do you believe you're worthy of that love?
And do you believe you matter? Because again, if you're created from light, if you're created from love, you must matter. I can't tell you how many breakthroughs people have when they realize, okay, if I really mattered, how would I respond to this? How would I relate to this, what I say with this relationship. When you pull back and realize how valuable you are and that you really are important to God, to love, then maybe life doesn't have to be difficult or hard for you.
Right. And like you were saying with answers,
yes,
when you really recognize that God is in you,
yeah,
then you will start seeing him.
yeah,
You will start seeing the universe opening up to you because you've accepted, yes, he's in me, therefore I am worthy.
yes,
Therefore I am guided. Therefore I am protected. And then when I tell Camille, I do this little game every day. It was kind of funny. We were at dinner the other night. I always ask the universe just random stuff.
yeah,
And it's just a test, and it's a fun test for me to be like, how aligned am I? Is the universe listening? Is God listening? What happens?
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm asking to win the lottery, which would be all right too. But the other day, I actually been asking to see a horseshoe for about 3 weeks.
Right. Yeah.
And every day at the end of the day, I'm like, well, I didn't see my horseshoe. Okay, well, I could either beat myself up saying, well, you're not in alignment, you must be doing something wrong, or the universe has got something really special.
Yep.
We go out to dinner. There's a water flask on the table, and there's four of us sitting there. There's a lot of stuff on the table, a lot of conversations going on, and I just looked, and here's a clear water flask. And etched in the flask, it wasn't like in a color, was a horseshoe.
Yes.
And at that moment, I felt everything was quiet all around me. Even though you guys were talking, I didn't hear a thing. And I just felt like, here it is.
And I was watching you, and you kind of had a moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was, anytime I encourage this little game because when you get it, you realize, oh
validation.
My gosh, yes,
yeah, God.
That's an answered. An answered prayer. So if I can pray to find a horseshoe,
yeah,
I can mend my body.
Yes.
Or I can get that raise in my career, whatever you want it to be. I love when Abraham Hicks says the universe doesn't care if you're trying to manifest a button or a castle.
No,
because it's irrelevant.
Right.
As far as nothing is worth more than the other. That's why I always ask for stupid stuff. Today I asked for a telephone, like an old telephone.
Yeah.
And I'm driving down the road and I realized the screen on my car has a telephone.
Oh, like old fashioned. Oh, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and so I thought, oh my gosh, it's so fun to see how the sense of humor and how things come. I know for you, you have a lot, like your stuff is real spiritual.
Yeah.
Like you could have Grandmother Willow from Pocahontas speak to you, and I'd be like, "Yep, that's Camille."
Well, most what I kind of do is I just say I'm an opening, I'm a space for whoever needs me today. And so with the clients that are coming to see me, I just want to be a clear conduit for that energy to go to them. And I'm telling you, a lot of people, it's just calming them down, getting them in the moment, eye contact. Okay, right here, right now. Just breathe. Let's talk. Let's really talk. And sometimes, like I had a gentleman here earlier, and he said, I don't even know why I'm talking to you. I just had an impression I'm supposed to come see you. And literally, as we started going through the session, it was truly something he had to talk about with his relationship. And he started crying. He just said, I can't believe that, this is coming up. And it was perfect. It was exactly what he needed to talk about. And he got really how much he mattered and what he needed to do. So I have that happen to me a lot. Like people just, I don't know why I'm talking to you, but something. And the older I get, the less I am editing myself. Gretchen's like,
If you watch Back Home Beauties or other podcasts,
well,
we both are that way.
But just even being bold in sharing something that I'm feeling about somebody, and I can say what I'm saying. Some things I'm saying to people, it's really, wow, this is kind of difficult to say, but I feel like I need to say it, and they will say, and you've had this too, oh my gosh, I have been looking, I needed to know this answer, I've been wondering if this, so when you're in tune and you're just willing to be there and you are connecting out here, everything's out here, it isn't if you're in your head, you want to be willing to be a vessel of love.
And as you're saying this, I think, okay, that's exactly how it is. When you know the power that is within you, because God is in you, you know you have the power to create, be, do, have anything that you want, because you are automatically given that like booster, because you're not doing it on your own. So when you get to a place like Camille is saying, let me be that vessel. let me be that light for somebody else.
Yeah.
Let me be that answer, a cooperative component of what this person is needing. And, I would encourage you, start writing things down. When you see the horseshoe on the water bottle, when you see, whatever it is, when you have a client that says, I don't know why I was supposed to call you, write it down, because at some point you can go back and read and realize I am never alone.
No.
Never, ever am I alone. And when I am lined up, the universe takes over and gives you what you want.
Yeah.
Because even though you're helping that gentleman out, you're also helping you out.
That's my fulfillment. That is what that it's where I feel alive. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I want everyone to have access to this kind of power. It isn't necessarily us. We're not the power, but when we allow the power to move through us and we connect to it, you feel the divine. The divine is always present, and destiny gets to be honored.
Which, I want to bring this up, y'all, because I've been in this boat, and I finally realized, wait a second, it isn't a matter of what you're doing. So I know sometimes when people are trying to manifest, and again, I've been in this boat. Okay, I need to do scripting, and I need to do I am statements, and I need to keep a gratitude journal, and and yet you think, okay, if God is in me, is God asking me to do those things? No, God's already there. So I don't have to prove myself worthy of getting that manifestation. I don't have to do the work to get it.
There is no effort. There's no struggle.
I just need to know God is in me, and whatever I want, He wants to.
Yeah.
Whatever I'm trying to manifest, it wants me to.
Yes.
And so, you just got to get out of the way. But try to not put yourself in a place where you feel like you have to earn it. You have to work for it.
Yeah.
You have to justify why you should have this, or why you hope you're worthy enough to have it.
One of my favorite things to do if I'm in an off mood or I'm trying to get aligned, because it isn't always easy just to live in alignment all the time. I will find some sort of beautiful music, like the Secret Garden music, and I will just crank that in my car on the way to work, going, I gotta get in alignment because I'm in a mood, and I will listen to that music, and for just whatever music just calls to your spirit, and I will just blast out love through my heart chakra, and I just watch. I think of every person that I love, that I don't like, and I just send them love. I just keep sending love. Just
we both do that, and
yes.
I like to take these two fingers. And almost like they're spooning, just put them together, or maybe one's just a little bit on top, and I feel like that's me and God. And so when I feel that,
I like that.
When I feel that, I'm like, okay, that's just reminding me, I'm not alone. And it's funny you mentioned that. I'm driving over here, a lot of traffic. It took an hour and a half for me to get here.
Crazy.
But I just kept listening to some gospel music that I really love, and the whole time I'm like, I'm so happy I have this time to do this, because when it feels right, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter.
And what's crazy, Gretchen, is that gentleman, he was late getting here because the traffic was so bad. Okay. And so I would have had 20 minutes with him. Okay. If you wouldn't.
Oh, if I hadn't.
Yes. So you being late
was all part of it.
Yes. And I looked at the phone. I thought, Gretchen, I know she's going to run in late. And this was exactly what needed to happen for him.
Oh, I love that.
It was divine timing.
And you said earlier, there's nothing wrong.
Nothing's wrong
wrong that's happening here, and kind of get into this loop, and you're telling yourself, everything always works out for me.
Yes.
Everything always works out for me.
It's perfectly in divine time.
Yeah, and so, when you feel that and you recognize
just felt that
God is here, everything always works out.
That's right.
Because you have no enemies. He isn't your enemy, and He's not testing you, and He's not making you prove yourself worthy, and He's not saying, you got cancer because you haven't learned a lesson. No, cancer was my blessing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
We can't end it like that.
Well, we can. We can say, look, cancer was your blessing, and it isn't a sour now. What happened was you got in alignment.
Yeah.
And you healed.
Yeah.
And this actually gave her an access to who she really is and her own power, because if she can do that, she can probably do anything.
Right.
And now you've been a contribution for how many people? I mean, your clients, all these people, the boards you're on. Beautiful girl, you have made a huge difference.
I think, thank you. I think if I can manifest a horseshoe
Mm-hmm.
and I can manifest a healing body, I can do anything.
Yeah.
And again, that's just testimony that the universe doesn't care if it's a horseshoe or cancer. Doesn't matter. It's the same principles of faith. It's the same understanding of worthiness. And I think that's probably the biggest thing that we all have problems with is thinking to ourselves, oh, am I worthy to get this? Oh, I'm a sinner. Oh, I've done this wrong and this,
Yeah.
That's not how if my kids came to me and said, you know what, Mom, I'm not worthy of eating this supper. I'm like, yes, you are. Stop it. Eat, and have mine, kind of a thing. And I know that we're blessed that way.
Yeah. So there's ways to keep you in alignment. Just remember, you matter. What you're going through matters, and you're not alone.
You're never alone. We appreciate y'all being here so much. It means so much to us, and we love this time. If you guys would like to get a hold of us, we do coaching. We do one-on-one coaching. We do team trainings with companies. We do corporate speaking. We do event speaking. We do motivational speaking. So you can leave us a message here for now. But we appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.